You have to pass a test to get back on the hay bale truck. Otherwise, you have to stay here all night. You got to pass the test. I'm sure we could find a way to walk. We could walk back if we had to. But we want to pass the test. That's because they got to feed everybody across the lake. That's where the maple syrup's coming from. There's so much, and you saw how little it was in there. It probably takes like a whole weekend to collect a little bit. That much. Yeah, I heard you did. You had pancakes. You have maple syrup. So you had syrup to go with them. Did you get the syrup from here? Always have to have syrup.
Or Daddy has pancakes. He just has full pancakes and then syrup all over them.
Oh, wow. Well, okay, it comes from here. Check it out. Listen, she's going to tell us all about it.
So somebody just made a great point. You know, these dead logs also are home, food, shelter to a lot of amphibians and other little macroinvertebrates, insects, etc. That you know, and all of these insects are food for birds. Many of our warblers, chickadees, many of our birds eat about a 90%. About 90% of their diet when they're breeding is insects. So super important. You know, we really need to be growing caterpillars. We want to grow insects and provide an ecosystem with lots of insects. So yeah. So this is what we call. This is called a mokuk. And this is what the Native Americans used as a vessel. They would use this as a vessel for water or you know, just a number of things. So this is what they would collect their sap in and process their sap in. And you'll see this when we get down to the sugar shack. So that's, you know, and so we'll see kind of a progression of the Native Americans, what they did, and then as the Europeans came, how technology progressed. And you'll see that, I guess, at the next one with the wooden buckets and then finally the cans. But so when we tap a maple tree, we want to tap about a 10 to 15 inch diameter tree, and then with every 5 inches we can add another tap. So you know, this tree, what I guess that's about, I don't know, what, 18 maybe. So that's why we have 2 taps. Some trees have 2, some have 1. We see the sap begin to run late winter, early spring, and it's that temperature difference. Warm days, cooler nights that start to make the sap move in the tree. So trees store all their starches in the ground in the winter, because otherwise, what would happen? What would happen if the trees had all their starches and all the xylem and phloem up here in the winter? What would happen? It would freeze. Yeah, exactly. So store them in the ground in the winter, and then as the seasons start to change, if the sap comes up at night and back down, or I'm sorry, up during the day, back down at night, and so it's that pressure gradient that pushes the sap out. So we drill into the tree. We drill. We want to avoid areas where we've drilled in previous years, because the trees have a way of healing themselves. So if we try to drill in where another hole was, it's going to be thick and hard, and we're not going to be able to get into that cambium where the xylem is flowing. So we avoid those. We do drill in about 1.5 inches at an angle, and you'll see the spile down here in a little while. You'll see those taps.
How do you mark where you drilled before?
Well, it just, you can see, if you look at some of the trees, like back here, I mean, there is a hole, and they just leave a little scar. That's not it. This line of holes, when you come past, check out this line of holes. This is from a yellow-bellied sapsucker. If you see a tree with holes in a line like that, that's from a yellow-bellied taxsucker. It's one of our woodpeckers, but that's not from tapping. That's a side note. But yeah, they just kind of leave a little scar.
Yellow-bellied
You can see the round
sapsucker.
scar.
Guess what?
You're
Woodpeckers
saying
go
that
to Grandma's
carving
house.
into the beech tree into your
Woodpeckers
garden
go to
is
Grandma's
bad
house.
for it.
Yeah.
But this is not bad
This is
for
not,
it?
and that's a great question.
there's a place where
so
he
the
does
beech
a
trees have really
woodpecker.
thin bark, and this you're going actually into the tree a little farther, but it actually will heal itself. Whereas on the bark, trees can't heal themselves because there's no living tissue. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it doesn't hurt the trees. We tap the trees year after year. It doesn't hurt them. When the sap, when we collect the sap, it's about 97% water and about 2.5% sugar, another 0.5% various other things, spider legs and stuff. And then we boil that water off. It comes off in steam, and we're left with a thick, sugary liquid, what we know as syrup. So you know, this is a Native American thing. This is the Europeans did not know about tapping trees. They didn't know anything about syrup. So they learned that from the Native Americans. And legend has it that the Native Americans, there was a brave and Indian maiden. They were setting up camp one night, and he put his hatchet in the tree for safekeeping, for easy access. Woke up in the morning and there was water pouring out of the tree. It was obviously probably in the springtime, late winter, spring, pouring out. And so the brave went off to hunt, doing his job for the day, and the maiden stayed back doing her job, one of which was collecting water. So she was able to she collected the water. They cooked their game when he came back at night, that night, and they ate that meat, and it was sweeter than ever. And so they started thinking about it, realized at the bottom of that pot was kind of a thick, this thick substance, and so that's next morning they put it on her pancakes. That's right, exactly. So so the Native Americans taught it to the Europeans, and the process has progressed, and we'll see that in some of the other processes and the other ways that they have done it a little more efficiently. I also wanted to point out this great tree. I heard someone mention this tree behind us, and it's just spectacular. This is a tulip poplar, and if you look up at the top, you can see these seed clusters at the top. And tulip trees hold on to their seeds. They germinate in the spring. The spring winds will release those seeds, and they will germinate this coming year. But this species of tree was prized by, and still is prized by people who use wood to build. They're noted for being very tall and very straight, branching, not starting until the top. And so they're great for barn timbers and building other structures.
What is that tree?
Boy, I don't know. I'd have to say it's every bit of 100, upwards of 100, maybe 150 even. It's been there a while. And you know, if you think about standing in one place for a whole day, imagine standing in one place for 100 years. Amazing. If trees could talk. I think this line is really interesting. Anybody got any guesses as to what the line on this side of the tree is?
Lightning strike.
Yeah. That's what I would say. Probably a lightning strike, and it's healed over very well. Really healthy tree.
Oh yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
You see that cut?
This line is going all the way down the tree.
Yeah.
No. This line, where he's touching, you can follow that line all the way up.
Family.
You guys ready to pass the test? Yeah, if you answer the questions from what she said. And if you don't pass the test, you can't ride the train. There's You have to stay back here as long as that tree does.
It's a trillion buckets.
Man, I hope you fall in chokes.
The hayride, yeah. Hey,
Hey,
it's a hayride.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, it's a hayride.
Hey, Gabe. I wonder how long this walk
Well,
Probably
H
pretty
spelled
long.
an H.
Yeah.
So it's got an H and
And there's
hey,
walking
spell hay.
talking with his It's for
You spell hay, H-A-Y. And then if you say hey, it's spelled H-E-Y. Watch out for the mud.
Leo's charging straight at it.
Yeah.
Ew, muddy steps. Ew. Ew, muddy steps.
You like mud?
And mud particles. And mud particles.
Mud puddles everywhere.
Mud. Everywhere is mud. Muddy dirt. I would have jumped over that. Why does that bucket have an S on it and an L?
There's actually a shed down here where they call it the shooter shed. Shooter shed.
I bet old syrup is.
And that's where they take all this collection of buckets and they brew it into syrup. If you remember, she said that the water that comes out of these trees is 97% water, 3% sugar. So they have to boil away almost all of the water in order to get the sugar.
I think I see the lake again. I think we're getting close. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I can see some blue down there. What?
When we get done with this video, maybe when we get back to his house or wherever we're going next, do you want to watch it?
Wouldn't that something?
We could sit on YouTube if we go to Galla's.
And
Sit on
I showed them one. I think we're going to see one down here.
Yep, I see the lake. It's down there.
Yep.
Lake.
Yep.
It looks like another bucket. Great, there's so much buckets. Why? Now there's gonna be so much syrup. Yes, we need syrup for some pancakes.
I actually had pancakes for breakfast.
Yes, I heard that where mommy was calling.
They were delicious.
Yeah, I bet.
Except, do you like pancakes with tons and tons and tons of syrup? They kind of taste bad.
See here, guys. All right.
I had to grab my
Anybody know what kind of tree this is? What's that?
It's a tree. That's why kind of
Yeah, you can tell it's a tree because of the way it is.
Is it a little baby beach?
It is a baby beech. Yeah.
Because the color of the bark and the leaves.
Yeah, this bark and those buds.
The leaves.
Yeah. Yes.
I think all of these are beaches, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So here's a good spot to take a look at the. So we progressed from early Native Americans used twigs, hollow twigs like
If you want to
elderberry, sumac, or a twig that's hollow, and they would make their own spiles.
Pause the video.
Then we moved on to cast iron as we progressed with technology and availability to metals. So that's what most people use now, the cast iron. Went from the mokuk to these wooden barrels for collection. you know, a couple different kinds of buckets that were used. Another point I forgot to mention, an important point is, anybody know how many gallons of sap it takes to make 1 gallon of maple syrup? 10? Good guess. What'd you say? 2? Good guess. Nope, it's a lot higher. It's 40 gallons. So we need 40 gallons of sap, and I think this is like 2. I think this is like 2 gallons. So we need 20 of these to make 1 gallon of syrup. So it's pretty labor intensive. So.
Do they put the caps at a certain height?
They don't have to be. They generally, just for convenience sake, I think they put them, you know, kind of right in here.
Notice how the farther in they go.
Yeah, they go in about 1.5 inches. Yep. With a 3/8 inch bit. I can't remember if I mentioned that already, but a 3/8 inch bit, and then, yeah, angled, and simple as that. Anybody got any questions?
We get to see what's coming out.
Well, so it's not running today. I was here last weekend. You know, you could walk by and put your finger underneath and taste that water. And you know, Native Americans, this was really important for Native Americans. They used that water as a tonic. Hey, guys, can you come on back here? Sorry. Thank you. So they use that water as a tonic. They also use it as an eye wash. But if you have the chance to taste that water, it's really, doesn't taste a whole lot different than water, but it is just a little sticky. So yeah, but it was very important for, it was kind of a spring tonic, and they used it, it was important for trading. So, because it's an eastern deciduous forest, it's a regional thing. You know, they would trade with people from out, you know, other tribes in different parts of the country. So. Careful here, it's a little muddy here.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty neat.
There's a giant hotel thing all over there. It actually reminds me of a hotel.
Let's see if
way
there's
over
any.
there.
She said it wasn't flowing a whole lot today.
Yeah, see if there's any. It's too cold.
There's a little in there.
That's a beech tree right there, guys.
That's what they collect.
So you can actually see like the
It froze over.
Can't see anybody. You just get the side of the bucket. Okay.
It comes out right there. Yeah, sir. There. That right there. See that little bit? That little, it's like water. See that?
Will you lift her so she can see?
See a little bit there?
Yeah.
That's the sugar. And then you take that, if you taste that, it's got, that's what they boil away to get to the maple syrup.
We might want to catch up.
Let's go.
You should give Grandpa his phone back.
Kidding me. Let's go. Go. Why are we just stopping? What are you doing?
From what we call the apical meristem, trees are growing from the tip. So this is all the new growth at the tip of the tree. Just a side note.
Well, no, we can grow one. Oh yeah, we could grow one in my country. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. We'll be back soon, right, Dan? We have to pass the test again.
All right, bye guys. I guess we're gonna.
That's enough.
That's enough for the maple syrup adventure. Goodbye.